Well, we met in 2010 when I was in 6th grade. I was never very vocal, being able to talk because I done lost so much, a mom and a dad. So I was the kid that you could really release your anger on. And,
You were bullied as a child?
Yes. And she really reminded me of Norbert and his girl met because she came in, had my back, and she really taught me, like, growing up to, stand up for yourself, and it went on from there.
And you all decided to form a relationship that was not just a friendship.
Yes, we became best friends. She just became like a emotional soaking pad for me because I wasn't able to show emotion growing up because they said it was a sign of weakness for me. So she showed me how to do that.
So it sounds like you were a pretty cool friend at that time.
Yes, Your Honor, I was. I never told her no. It was always a yes for me. And I took her places with me and showed her things that other people don't really get in life, which is like friendship, a true friend, and love. Genuine love.
It's fair to say you were not the person that you are today in 6th grade.
In 6th grade, I transitioned. I always felt like this, but I was just never feminine at that time. And I just thought it was a phase growing up.
So you were born a boy?
Yes.
But you are a woman?
Full blown, baby.
Okay. May I say to you, and I know that you will take this as a compliment, you were really born a woman, because I'm looking right at you.
I mean... Y'all see it.
I'm happy you found your true self.
Thank you so much.
But something tells me it came at a couple of bumps in the road.
Yeah.
Because if you started off a boy, that means you fell in love with a boy. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So how did this whole transition, did you all transition together? What ended up happening?
Me and her started getting real acquainted, going over her house, because she was learning how to do hair around this time. She would watch her auntie kids and also do her hair, and she used to ask me, could you come over with me? And I was like, okay, yeah, because I didn't have nobody. So I was like, okay, I'll come. Then we used to watch this show, the RuPaul Drag Race. Inside, I was like, oh my God, this is how I've been feeling.
And I used to dress her.
Were you all best friends, or were you all intimate friends, or a combination of both?
Both.
Yeah, it was a combination of both.
It was a combination of both.
Okay, and so you were having intimate relations in what would be considered a male-female intimate relations. Is that fair?
I mean,
Yeah.
probably not sexually, maybe kissing in public as we got older,
Yeah.
going out. Like I said, I used to dress her and stuff.
So did you at that time even think for a minute, if you are, quote, dressing your best male friend, that this is somebody that really was a woman?
No,
did it ever
not.
hit you?
No.
Were you surprised about that, Ms. Strange?
I mean, not really, because I just feel like men should be able to, make their women happy around that time, whether what it is, whatever they see their goal. You should be their monument. You should be able to, okay, practice on me. But around that time, not only was I doing it for her, I was also doing it for me, because it was a way for me to release stress and tension. So
you could actually be who you were.
Right. And then she was like, man, I want to try certain things. And I was just like, okay, this is my opportunity. And the next thing you know, I thought what was going to be weird for her wasn't weird for her, Then it was one time, let's go get pedicures, manicures and stuff, and get your feet clean. Now I got my feet clean. So I was like, okay, this is now or never. And I ended up ghosting her for
a long time, a couple of years.
So wait a minute, you go from being best friends, hanging out all the time, doing each other's hair, being like young people curious in a relationship, exploring intimacy without the full intimate act. Okay?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just cut it off, Miss Strange?
Yes, Shauna. I just couldn't face her at that time. Tell somebody that always had my back. When I get pushed into a wall like that, I run. I had to start living for me. So
when he, at the time, ghosted you, how did that make you feel?
I was curious, because I never did nothing wrong with being a good friend. And, no calls, no DMs. I was kind of worried for him at the time.
I'd love to know, what were you doing in those 2 years?
I had body modifications, like my boobs, my hips, and my rhinoplasty, which is the bottom surgery. In those 2 years, I was making myself whole so my soul, mind, and my spirit can feel as one,
So you were transitioning during that time?
That whole entire time, yeah.
Okay, and who did you have in your corner to be there with you?
I had me. So,
and you didn't think that you could reach out to your best friend to help you?
I just couldn't. I can make her whole. How can I make something whole when I'm not whole myself?
I completely understand what you're talking
I
about.
feel
You
like-
had to find you.
Yeah, I didn't want to self-destruct.
And in the meantime, I think you will understand that Miss Westmoreland did have to go on with her life.
Yeah.
So, Miss Westmoreland, what did you do in those 2-year interim?
I just needed love again, and and I ended up moving on.
Of course you
I
did.
found someone through social media. He was there to cheer me up and stuff.
And did you get into a relationship?
I ended up getting into a relationship with the person.
Was that relationship an intimate relationship?
It ended up getting into an intimate relationship.
So 2 years later, you are starting to feel like the person that you were born to be.
Correct. Yes, Your Honor.
And you decided it was time to go back and make amends.
I feel like I owe her closure. So when I finally built up the courage, I hit her on DM and I was like, first I want to, start off with an apology for how I did you and how I led you on and deceived you. And I said, whenever you feel like you're ready to talk or need closure, please give me your number. So she said, oh my God, and she gave me her number. So 2 days I didn't call her because I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? Like,
Yeah, because you just opened a wound and you had to be ready
yeah,
to deal with it, right?
Yes, Your Honor.